For generations, the model for learning looked exactly like this: students arranged in straight lines, sitting quietly at identical wooden desks. The entire system was anchored to a single object. The prescribed textbook acted as the ultimate authority, dictating what was taught and serving as the sole, unyielding basis for every examination. Under this model, a student's primary job was simple: sit still, stay quiet, and passively absorb a fixed body of knowledge. Active participation was often actively discouraged in favor of complete silence. But the moment you step outside those school walls, that static model falls apart. The real world operates as a complex, highly dynamic network of moving parts, constant interactions, and rapid change. Forcing a child to sit passively while the world speeds by outside creates severe friction. For many, the daily routine of rote memorization turns the classroom into a potent source of stress and boredom. This forced isolation creates a sharp divide. A child's life at school becomes completely disconnected from their life at home and their organic role within their community. The curriculum further fragments their worldview by building rigid walls between subjects. History, science, and math are treated as completely isolated silos with no clear bridges connecting them. A child raised on closed, isolated facts enters adulthood ill-equipped to navigate the messy, overlapping realities they will inevitably face. Educational frameworks have started to confront this disconnect. The core goal now is to directly link a student's academic routine with the environment they experience every day outside the classroom. This requires moving away from the idea of children as empty vessels waiting to be filled. Instead, they must be recognized as active, capable participants in shaping their own education. To actually make that happen, educators have to guarantee 3 essential conditions in the learning environment: physical space, unstructured time, and intellectual freedom. When you mix static information with the space, time, and freedom to explore, a reaction occurs. The student generates personal knowledge. By testing raw data through hands-on experimentation, the information branches out into a complex web of understanding. Real learning happens in the act of creation. It thrives on inquiry, completely replacing the outdated habit of blindly memorizing historical facts. If we need a perfect blueprint for this interconnected style of thinking, we can look to the academic discipline of geography. Geography is an integrating discipline, pulling in concepts from history, sociology, and economics to construct a complete picture. It asks us to examine spatial relationships, mapping exactly how human behavior influences the physical environment, and vice versa. You cannot grasp those interactions merely by reading. Understanding ecological balance or forest conservation requires direct physical engagement with the environment itself. Humans survive by constantly adapting to and modifying their surroundings. Analyzing those survival mechanisms demands a holistic, wide-angle perspective that a rote memorization system actively suppresses. Geography relies on synthesizing dozens of different disciplines to accurately map the physical world. A child-centered education uses that exact same strategy, synthesizing varied experiences so a student can map their own practical understanding of reality. To build this framework, the rigid daily timetables of the past must be dismantled. The school day requires mandatory flexibility. This flexibility serves as a structural necessity. It carves out the actual hours needed for deep contemplation, small group debates, and messy hands-on experiments. Administrators often point to a heavy curricular burden as a roadblock. But when you reorient the flow of knowledge to align with actual child psychology, focusing on exploration rather than endless facts, that heavy burden naturally lifts. As the teaching methods shift, the ways we evaluate students must follow. Testing has to look far beyond the margins of the textbook to measure genuine comprehension. The ultimate result is a profound emotional shift. The classroom evolves from a site of anxiety and boredom into an environment that generates genuinely happy, creative experiences. By tearing down the artificial wall separating academic subjects and the outside community, we finally equip students with the tools they need to actively participate in and meaningfully contribute to our highly interconnected world.